26-yard line.
I'm playing.
51. Blue dead, blue dead.
It's caught by Treadwell. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on second down. Now a play fake, and it's gone. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Goff now looks to throw. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's got some space here. A big run there by Johnson. 44 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. That is caught. It's Tajay Sharp. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A big pickup there. 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And this is caught at the 8. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money through.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. From 4 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
And now out comes Houston. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That is caught by Cohen. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Offense.
Now, those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
60 or. No gain on this defense, no gain.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And this one into the hands of DJ Sharp. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Flushed out right. Airs it out toward the corner of the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
Let's go.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Check 50. Check 50.
Off play action. Here's Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Ed Oliver in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Jonathan Allen, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. 3rd and long, it's gone. And just as you called it after the earlier sack, they set up the screen. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down. Well, they took your advice from a bit earlier, tried to screen, but that one, it was covered up pretty well.
They did a nice job on it, but I still think it was the right idea. Probably just a block or two away from making it work.
That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
Recon, 132 fighter.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 2 yards on the gain there, and it will take us to the end of quarter number 1.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 8. Over the middle, hauled in by Sharp. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. DJ Chark with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Out of the gun. Gone. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down. They'll run on second down with Cohen. And he's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on third and about 14.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Texans on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 14. Gone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Duke Johnson with touchdown number 12 on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Well, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
Really helps your play caller, because now you're in a position where you're confident in either one, either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely have the lead here in the second quarter. On first down, it's Johnson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. And he finally is out. Out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. What a first half this is. Been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Johnson the intended target, but it's going to be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second down, it's Johnson. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
He'll drop to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. DJ Chark with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point right down the middle, and the route is on here in this first half. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now gone. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
They go play action here on first down. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Texans on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now gone. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Black. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 26. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it that time to Stills, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Again, Goff. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Jonathan Allen in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Goff. And he's going to go down again. Jonathan Allen, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime, something to build on maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, trying to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Back to throw now on first down. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
This quarterback now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard in the final seconds of the first half as his guys continue to pour it on.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook, but even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
This is fielded at the goal line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Let's go.
Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to be close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Texans' 31.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 3rd down, Grant. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
They run. It's Johnson. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. The type of game that he's having running the football, there was no doubt who they were giving the ball to.
So why didn't they just go ahead and go after him on defense? Right?
Yeah,
if you know him, right? You know he's having that type of a game. Who else would you expect to get the football? I would have taken my chances and
it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick.
Defense.
Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. He completes it to Treadwell. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. First down, a run with Cohen. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Goff now looking to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Goff now to throw. Escapes the sack. And now he's swallowed up and taken down. Deion Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first, this from 41. And Zerline's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
8, read. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Watch the run. Check, go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Shark's got it left side. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
They'll run on 1st down. Johnson. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll set up to throw. That's caught by Howard. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 20-yard line. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll get this to Sharp on the jet sweep. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Sua Craven's up to make the stop.
third quarter and you've got the lead, you're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
6-6, pull it high. Get it.
On second down, Johnson. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
Set. 60 outlaw.
Man left, man left. 4 down, 4 down.
Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Here we go, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right, toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog. What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And this one is right through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's gone. Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Stills the intended target.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And quickly they get to the line. There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, a run for Johnson. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Part Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And he will be brought down well shy of the goal line. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And that will force a turnover on downs. Goff now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Get that ball.
Looking to throw again on second down. Goff, and he completes it to Cohen. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw
pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Jonathan Allen, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Here's Goff. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. The Texans on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be third and a mile. Out of the gun. Goff. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson, and that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll look to throw. On the comebacker, complete. That's Clark. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay. Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
51. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Mike 51.
On first down, gone. That is caught by Cohen. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bucs, they continue to rack up the victories. Is this what...